This my take, I'm coming in hot, right in your face. The moment can't wait, I'm running the race and you running in place. Where you going, man? Speak with your chest, say it with pride, and move to the left. I'm known as the best, and it ain't a threat, just a promise I kept. I kick that, shoot those, you stare, shoot smoke, pass cross, I'm go. Like Messi, Naldo, Jordan, the ring zone, Tyson, the ring though, and me, Pepito.
Hello everyone and welcome to Pepito's Take. Fresh off of the Italy versus Switzerland game, I needed some time to digest what happened.
I told you last time, I'm your shoulder to cry on. I warned you of this mentally. I prepared you. I told you.
And you told me that Switzerland wasn't going to get it done. Obviously, I did not want to believe you. But I definitely needed some time to digest. I needed some time to think this through, the reason why we were put in this situation. Why did I not see the real Italy play? And, I was very, very disappointed. I feel like all the Italian fans for the national team were disappointed, man. So that's why I know you drove a little bit to come and meet me right now.
That's why we're not in the usual set. By the way, guys, this is episode 2, season 3 of Pepito's Take.
Yes,
Giuseppe's just going through. He's not his usual self. He's a little distraught.
Yeah.
In the back of his mind, he's thinking, "What if it was me? What if it was me up at the front line to save Italy?"
You know how many times I went through my...
Yeah, I know, definitely.
My mom even texted me. It was like, Giuseppe, they need you in the third. I was like, nah, I can't run.
I just saw you doing that. I saw you talking about him. Like, he's definitely thinking in the back of his head, I could have done this. These fun assholes, I could have done this.
No, you know what? I got a comment from Twitter. It's like, Giuseppe, what's up with our strikers? And I'm like, just give me them. Like, give me them. I will show them the in and outs of how to play this game up top. So let's start with this, right? Start with this. I want to start. I'm going to start on the striker side. Then we'll work our way down. We'll work out the whole entire game. But I always look at the striker side, right? I'm a striker. Mm-hmm. Whenever the ball's moving, I never look at where the ball is. I always look at the movements of the strikers, right?
Off ball movement, exactly.
Always. Now, I'm going to give a little bit of fault to strikers, but I'm also going to give some fault to the coach, man, because I don't think the coach put them in the right situation to excel, especially when it came to the strikers. Now, we had Scamacca playing up top, and I don't think the way that the game was put, the way that we had our players play, and I think the approach to the game on how we wanted to play, like I think you could easily see the approach of the game, how it was when they put up the starting lineup, right? Mm-hmm. And I knew that it was going to be a very lonely game for Scamacca, right? And those few balls that did get to him, I think he literally had 3 balls that went to him in the first half, 3 balls. And I think he lost all 3, or I think he actually played 1 well. That's too little. And as a striker, you get frustrated. And I understand him. I understand Scamacca. All right, so that's the fault that I give the coach in putting him in a very tough situation to excel, because we played a very deep line when we were defending, right? So when you play a deep line, there's a lot of space from when we do recover the ball and bring it up to the attacking side. And that's why Scamacca barely got any balls, because he was always surrounded by 2 or 3. Every time we did recover the ball, we always lost it because they pressed very well, so we weren't able to get past that first line of pressing, right? Mm. Every time there's players or a team that presses high in that situation, if you're able to get past that first line of pressure, you're golden. And I know this by experience because I remember playing against Barcelona back in the day. Barcelona, same exact tactic. They were great with the ball, and they always say that our defending is keeping the ball. Beautiful, I love that. But when they lost it, I remember us at Villarreal, we had very technical players. Beam, boom, bam, 2, 3 passes, we're out of the pressure, and now we have space to play. Right? So that was something that needed to be done. And in order to do that, you had to have that personality. I remember Giorgio Chiellini, he was on Fox talking about this. Yeah. That in order to get results in a game like this, even though you're not playing that great, and even though you're down, you need that personality. Right? He nailed it. Like, he literally nailed it. He understands it. He's been through it. Right? So he gets it. And I was thinking that same thing. We need players that aren't scared to get balls in certain places on the field that could be dangerous if we lose it, but being sure about their ability, that they're capable of playing that 1, 2, 3, get out of that pressure, and then we're gone. Listen, all due respect to Switzerland, very good game, good players, by the Switzerland. You know, and like I was trying to say, if you do that against Spain, and you try and play that tic-tac and then try and get out, and then you mess up, yeah, they're gonna definitely punish you. Switzerland, man, I don't understand why there was just so much, why we were so scared to get into certain positions to play that ball that certain way to get out, right?
I don't think you were you were scared to go forward at times, but I think the midfield of Granit Xhaka and Freuler did a really good job at dispersing what Barella Fagioli do very well, because they were just making sure they were being a nuisance to the box, being a presence there to put more pressure, because it goes to your point about the personality, being under pressure, being able to handle those tight spaces. But I think Italian fans also understand, like, you don't have that era of having a Andrea Pirlo there who can handle any kind of pressure and find you anywhere in the box. Like, these guys are still young, they're still developing, and they're not that natural class of like a maestro you had, you know?
Yeah, so
and it's hard.
It makes sense. It doesn't make sense. But remember, 4 years ago, we won with midfield, obviously, great midfield with Barella, Jorginho, and Verratti. Verratti is the only one that's missing, right? So how do we substitute Verratti? You can't, because for me, he's up there.
Yeah, different levels.
Yeah, like he's just amazing.
And also Jorginho's older now. That's also another thing to factor.
Yeah, but the way that he plays Jorginho isn't that, like, the age doesn't affect the way he plays for the way that he plays. You know,
Yeah, I agree. But like you do lose sort of that half step as like as a sitting DM as he's supposed to play with holding the ball, of like having to work back, of like having to cut. I feel like that half step.
If he loses a half step here, Jorginho here, yes,
I mean,
but feet wide, get into the ball, the pressure, the endurance, the running, it's not his game.
Yeah.
So even if it was like a half step, it don't really matter, right? But I feel like I wanted more personality. If you want to play that type of style where you want to step back, no problem, step back. But have that personality of getting out of this pressure, being boom bang, and then we're gone, right? So I didn't see that, and I'm gonna go again on Scamacca and the strikers. I need you to want to be put in those difficult situations, because if you're able to somehow get that ball and do something good with it and make your team come out, then guess what? Your confidence starts going up, right? You're like, I got this. And then the whole team has confidence in you, where they're like, all right, listen, we got somebody that's ready. We got somebody that is actually going to give us a chance to breathe a little bit, right? So I need that player to get him in that situation where it is uncomfortable, right? That's why you train. That's why you have training sessions. You have training sessions for that you are capable of finding yourself in any position on the field, in any circumstances, and feel comfortable, right? So that kind of disappointed me. Let's move to Chiesa. I didn't see nothing from Chiesa. I'm very, very disappointed. Same thing. He didn't have any playable balls because it was more a defensive side. I don't care. Same thing goes with Scamacca. Put yourself in a situation to get that ball and be the man. Be the man, right? Get it. Get a foul, right? Let's not be scared. Be sure about your ability and doing, trying to do the right thing by the team. It is frustrating when you're a technical player, when you're somebody that wants to go out and score and you want to shoot and you don't have that possibility. You're gonna get frustrated, but that can't distract you. That can't distract you for basically with what we're trying to accomplish. So that was frustrating. He takes a shot in the 80th minute, 85th minute, left-footed shot from so far away. It goes curling outside. That was just a moment. Have some composure. You need some composure. And then, listen, Fagioli, I could go on about this, decision. Why not push Jorginho? Why not have Jorginho? You have a player with the same characteristics. I think Fagioli is even a little bit slower physically. He has the same type of playing style, which is the 1-2 dictating passes. But my man, Fagioli, how long was what was he suspended for?
It was definitely less than Tonali. I think it was like a 6 to 7 month ban, if I had to guess.
But bro, that's 6-7 months. Yes, I don't know if you're able to train with the team or not, but still 6-7 months, right? Now, and you didn't play one time with, leading up to that Croatia team, Switzerland, to that Switzerland game, right? And now he's playing there. He did a couple good things. I'm happy, but he had that 5-minute spell in the first half. I think it was like in the 20th minute, from the 15th to like the 20th minute. A couple things he tried to do in the second half. I don't need spurts. I need a player every single minute. Bam, bam, bam. Jorginho didn't play well against Spain. Didn't play well against Croatia. Of course he didn't.
Two high-level teams. Yeah.
Two teams that their main dominance is the possession game, is putting their opponent on their back foot, which they did, right? For us in Italy. No problem. And it's okay that he can't shine, because the way he shines is dictating the tempo, is getting the ball and making sure that the team flows, right? I needed somebody with experience there in that moment against a Switzerland, to where it's like, hey, give me the damn ball, and I'm going to make sure that I find that outlet pass, right? And I'm not going to shy away from anything that's happening, because I have my experience, and I'm going to get the job done. Maybe Barella would have felt a little bit more secure about his way of playing, because, again, Barella, very disappointing, just like Chiesa. Where was he? I felt like he felt lost. I felt like he wasn't present, right? Like, it just felt different. It felt very different.
I do have to say, though, to Switzerland's credit, they played it very smart formation-wise, because I don't know if people will notice, they were playing a quote-unquote, like, 3-5-2 or 3-4-3, but realistically it was like a 3-6-1. And what they were doing, I know, it's a stupid concept, but actually a lot of like more coaches are playing 3 at the back have been adopting this. Their midfield 4 was like a box 4. So if you looked, like Vargas and Ryder were playing as like 2 10s right in front of Freuler and Xhaka. So they had that box 4 overload the midfield. And basically the way how that works is that the DMs were following the 10s in their movements. And the way how the 10s would move, they would always make diagonal runs into the box, creating more space and pulling people out. So I think Switzerland's main plan was to have the midfield overload, because they knew with not your fullback, I think there's one fullback. I think not having DeMarco was a big issue with having Matteo Darmian there. And don't get me wrong, Darmian, I love him at United. He's been solid for Inter, but he's been solid playing at like a center back role in the 3 at the back. So for him, he's sort of like out of pocket there. And then doing that, they were sort of able to frustrate your midfielders and shut them down, which is why we saw such a negative performance from all 3. Because usually they're solid players. Like Barella, we know his talent. We know Fagioli has a high potential. And we know what Cristante wants to do. But I feel like that, to Switzerland's credit, which we know we expect more from Italy, but to their credit, they found a way to frustrate your midfield to sort of cut out a lot of that creativity.
Okay. I didn't really focus too much on how Switzerland would play. If you say a 3-6-1, I trust you.
Wait, it's a 3-6-1, but like...
but with the box and midfield, I get you. With the box and midfield. And you know what? That's okay. So if I'm a coach and I see that, right? Why can't we... So this was another point that I was making, right? In the first half, you want to play your... What is it? 4-3-3 we're playing. A little bit on the defensive side. It's okay. Maybe you wanted to go more on the counter. I guess. I don't know. But second half starts. We're down 1-0. Why don't we go back to a 3-5-2 formation? Anything to where we have 2 strikers. I was saying, give me 2 strikers. I want 2 strikers up top.
Yeah.
I don't care if you put 4 in the back, 3 in the middle, 5, 3, whatever it is, midfield, defense, figure it out. But give me 2 strikers up top. Why is that? So then at least if we do want to defend and we need to, air it out because we're getting pressed, because they were doing a great job pressing us right on the first press, and we don't have an outlet pass. Hey, kick that ball up. We got 2 against 3 if they're playing 3 in the back, right? 2 against 3, and hopefully we get a second ball to where our guys finally have it, and then we're able to get out, right? I mean, if that's how, I feel like that is a change that we should have made in the second half, which probably wouldn't even have stopped that great goal that Switzerland scored.
Yeah.
Because that was a banger of a goal. But we could talk about that goal too, and nobody's talking about it.
But it would have given you more chances on the other side, though. So it's
even
like,
on the 2-0, you have 2 strikers up top, exactly.
Yeah, because then maybe it etches the flow of the game, where maybe that banger of a goal doesn't happen. It's like you have to do something to disrupt their tempo and their momentum, which I agree with you on.
So you want to have an overload in the midfield, okay? Bypass the midfield. Go play your 3v2 up top. Right? Instead of playing a 3v1,
just play bomb.
Not really bomb. Yeah, it's not like strategically.
Forward.
Exactly. You have a strategic way. You I don't know. You put it around around the winger in the space. You make them run. You get what's it called? A throw in around there because the guys that could get out, and then we're kind of slowly moving up. Right? Find a way to get our center of gravity a little bit more up instead of beginning so deep.
Basically, just using the width because, like, I think to every soccer fan's knowledge, anyone that's played, you know that if you're in a negative scenario where you have a man up on you, why not bring it to the width and just prefer the 1v1s? Because what's easier, a 1v1 or a 1v5?
Okay, so then once you
build up through the width instead of just focusing so much on midfield and then draw them out more to create space.
So then once you have your center of gravity more up and now you're able to gain some space and you're winning those second balls and now you're finally able to do your little tiki-taka to try and find the right spaces, then that's when obviously you build the width, because we had Zaccagni in the second half with Chiesa, 2 one-on-one players. Mm-hmm. I said every time Chiesa got the ball on that wing, I saw Cristante always going in, trying to make a cut in front. I'm like, no, get the hell out of there. Make Chiesa work the one-on-one on him and keep him free, right? Because that's his game. So I wanted to see more of that. That's why I was imposing, give me the damn 2 strikers up top. Give me the 2 strikers up top. But let's go back to that second goal, because that's something that, kind of pisses me off. And not many people are talking about it. Just look at the body language. If you guys watch the second goal, watch the body language of those 3 defenders that are working on the wing with those 3 people from Switzerland, from the 3 players from Switzerland. Nobody's really pressurable. Everybody's like very chill and relaxed. And like they're not really going on top of the ball. They're just going jogging. And then the guy just kind of goes behind. I don't believe it was like Giuseppe. I don't remember what it was, but just goes behind. He gets a free ball, shoots a great goal, obviously. But the way that they got out of that situation, like, bro, you're down 1-0 in the last 16 of the Euros. You have to go and eat that ball, man. You have to go eat those damn players from Switzerland. Mm-hmm. But no, it's like a nice little bit. Di Lorenzo's over there chilling. You got, I think it was Zaccagni. I'm not sure if it was Zaccagni or Chiesa over there chilling. Like they didn't really want to touch. They were like very very standoffish and whatever it is, right? I don't want that, man. I didn't want that. I didn't want that second half to start like that. Like if they wanted it, bro, they would have gone there and tackled the crap out of that ball. Or be on top of him and not get out of that situation.
My question for you, and this sort of goes on the topic of the strikers in the front line, what does Raspadori have to do to get a start in this team?
All right, so that's something I've always been saying. He's our only... For me, I would always play with these type of players and this type of team that we have. I always play with a falso 9. I will always play with a 9.5, meaning I don't want no Scamacca, I don't want no Retegui, I don't want none of those big boys. Give me somebody who comes and helps, play alongside, the wingers to have a 1-2, or an outlet pass from the midfield into that second line, hold that up, get up. Like, somebody who feels technical enough to come in and work.
Because even for me, the 2 options you guys are putting at left wing, I feel like Raspadori could have still done a better job if you're really forcing Scamacca down everyone's throat, right? It's like,
I would have definitely.
It's just that's why I was confused. Is like, look, I get it. Managers have certain styles. I think certain players fit the style. But when you have someone who is as talented as Raspadori, and he's levels above creatively what you guys need, it's like, why? Like, I don't get the why. That's my biggest thing. Like, I understand the how maybe you could fit him in. What could be the issue? But the why is what I don't understand.
We are lacking a little bit of that creativity up top. And I believe that Raspadori is the only one in this moment that can give a little bit of creativity. I'm not going to say he was the solution. Mm-hmm. I don't think we had a solution. But
you could have been a little bit difference maker.
A little bit of a difference to where maybe the team spirit kind of just, changes a little bit. Because I feel like it was just very monotone, our way of approaching the game. There was never a moment where it's kind of like, yeah, let's go. Like, we did something, blah, 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 right? Like, I needed something different. I needed a change of pace. And maybe a Raspadori who would come in, I don't know, turn on the ball on 30 yards out and then tries a shot from 25 yards. I would have loved that. I don't care even if it went 30 yards out. At least it gives a little bit of courage to the team, right? I didn't see that. And then, bro, we're down 2-0. It's the 80th freaking minute. And we're playing the ball just very relaxed in the back. Mm-hmm. But man, get the damn ball on the wing, overlap, pass, boom, cross in the middle. We just finished watching Slovakia versus England. Slovakia was down 2-1 in overtime. Those guys were going around. They wanted it, man. Yeah. They really wanted to tie that game, and you could see. And then guess what? All the fans are happy and proud of their players because they showed that they did everything possible to do that. All the players of Italy, they're going back home. They're like, no, I could have done more, and that's what pisses off the most. You could win excuse me, you could lose and it's okay, but it's how do you lose? And that's what gets my blood boiling, because you're playing a Euro Cup, man. Like, it's not like a qualifying, game. No, bro, it's a Euro Cup. You're wearing that damn shirt. That means something. And yeah, so that kind of made me even more angry, right? Not so much the losing part, but it's how we lost.
Yeah.
And yeah, listen, my Italy rant is over. It's over. I had to get things off of my chest. I'm probably missing a couple things here and there. Maybe I'll mention them in the next episodes. But
or tell us in the comments below. I mean, we don't mind the call outs.
I like that. Yes, I definitely like that. And let me know if you guys agree with what we said. But definitely disappointing, man. Very, very disappointing. Yeah, man. Anything to add?
I think it's just
misery.
Look, I think it's two-sided, right? Italy could have done a lot better, but I think Switzerland executed their game plans very well. I think that's the one thing Italy wasn't expecting. They didn't expect Switzerland to be, I wouldn't say tactically adverse, because I think everyone knows tactically Switzerland knows what they can do. But I don't think anyone expected because everyone has high expectations for Chiesa, right? I think a lot of people had low expectations for Vargas. I don't think people really expect him to do what he could do. No. I think that's the nail biter. I think.
Where does he play, Vargas? Was he at Borussia?
No, he's in the Bundesliga. I can actually tell you right now, if you give me 1 second. No. He's definitely in the Bundesliga. He plays at Augsburg.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He was a good player, but he put Llorente on his heels. Listen, poor Llorente.
A couple times, you know.
Poor Llorente had sorry, man, he did not have a good Euros. He had that Williams, and he had Vargas, who put him in the blender a few times. He's not a one-on-one defender though. Like he's not like he's not like a Wan-Bissaka, right? Wan-Bissaka is really good at one-on-one defending, but can't do a lot of other things. Di Lorenzo could do a lot of other stuff. He can handle a high press with 2 or 3 guys in front of him, know where to mark the right space. Yeah.
He can progress the ball forward, but he's not a one-on-one defending fullback. That's not what to expect from him. I think there's also another issue of Italy tactically. It's like, don't put your more so known as an attacking fullback in scenarios where he's going to have to defend his ass off. Like, that's where you sort of have to make sure that you can somehow funnel the pressure towards Darmian's side, because I think he can handle that a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, we've been going on about the individual performances that really weren't up to par. And I'm going to leave you with one last one, and that's it, which actually bothered me too, and I forgot to say this. The first goal.
Yeah.
Bro. That was the classic example of a player who wants it more and the other player who really isn't there mentally. Look at Fuller, the way that he attacked that space, and how Barella just lets him go. He's in front of you, no problem. Yeah. What do? You go to Fagioli, he's coming behind you. And Fagioli looks over his shoulder, goes back, gets into that space of where that ball goes, and that ball's never happening. Or if it goes through, he will not have that touch to where it would be perfectly in front of him, and then he would shoot. It wouldn't happen. So, a lack of communication, a lack of desire.
You want to know where we saw this though? This foreshadow came in the Albanian game. I know I don't want to keep referencing Albania. They're out. Whatever. I had my 15 minutes of fame with them. But no, seriously, that first goal Albania scored, 22 seconds. It was a lackadaisical throw-in. No one was paying attention.
Good point.
And he slotted in the top right. And that was like an early precursor. I think a lot of us overlooked of like, oh, like maybe they're not on the ball as much. Maybe they're being too lackadaisical. Which I think that was the problem, because I think they were expecting like, oh, we've turned out for Germany and all these teams, but they were just underestimating the lower level teams too much.
That's a good point. That's a good point. So I had to get that off my chest too, because that kind of pissed me off as well. Where that desire, man, that willingness to just lift up your sleeves and let's get in this dogfight. Nobody wanted the dogfight. Nobody was even close of wanting to really get dirty.
I know, that's why we hear the silence in the background. They're ready to capture all those Italian players. I'm not leaving all on the field, so you guys, you're coming in with us. We're not accepting it.
Oh, man.
But I mean, do we want to touch England, Slovakia? Because you were right, but I was sort of right at the same time. Do we want to touch on that?
No, listen, it's black or white. One's right, one's wrong.
No, there's gray area in this.
One's right and one is wrong.
No, because I was 75% right. Until the 80th minute, my predictions were exactly spot on.
Wait, but do we play 90 minutes or 75 minutes?
In my mind, I would play 75 minutes. No, right. In the full game, like they turned it on towards the end. But it was what I also predicted. I said if Southgate isn't too scared to make changes and do what he has to do, then they're going to get the result. And ultimately, that's what ended up happening. You put on different players to do different duties and make.
Maino played a great game.
Oh, and
Maino played a great game.
Starboy.
Yeah, that's right. He did well.
Man.
He did well. Jude. What the hell did he embed in that last minute? But see, that's what
That's the
big
desire,
players
though,
do,
bro. That's also the desire.
Oh, bro. But that's what big players do. Big players show up in big moments. I'm gonna go back to Italy. Where was our big players in these big moments? It weren't there.
Yeah, but you don't have anyone at the Bellingham level.
We don't.
You don't.
No, 100% we don't. But like, if you want to be a big player, Chiesa, if you want to be a big player, Scamacca, listen, he won the Europa Cup. But what?
The
Europa League Cup. Who? Scamacca.
Oh, yeah, he won with Atalanta.
Yeah.
Did he also win with West Ham? He was on the team with West Ham.
No, he wasn't.
Like, oh, that was Conference League thing.
But anyway, like, these are players that have a certain experience, right? You want to be that big time player, but you gotta freaking show up. Jude Bellingham showed up when his team needed him most.
Yeah.
Harry Kane showed up when his team needed him most. He was there in the box. He scored. Your take was horrible. Your take was horrible.
Jose, you were watching with me. We both said it. Yeah, you remember I caught you. You're watching it. It was like the 70th minute, and you were like, "Why is he there? Why is he that deep?" He was. Don't tell me he wasn't.
It was deep. But I would never take him out because players like this, man, they create always something. I don't care if it was a simple head ball and he's there. Guess what? He was there.
Finally.
He was there. It's that he smells it. It's Harry Kane, bro. He smells it. You can never take players out.
He also missed a couple setters.
He did actually miss a sitter, which I'm very disappointed. But hey, listen, missed one and then you make the other one. So I don't care. He was there. And thanks to him, thanks to the big players, Jude and Harry Kane, they went through to the quarterfinals.
Rice was almost there. Remember that shot on post?
That was nice. That was beautiful. But, right?
I was not wrong. I was, you know what that is? That's like when you take a test and you get half credit. I got half credit on that one because I sort of predicted it.
All right, fine. I'll give you a couple points.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
But I actually spoke to my uncles yesterday. They're calling me ranting about the Italy game. We're all going ham.
Just say.
Giuseppe, what the hell's going on? This and that. So then when we finished talking about Italy, we were like, all right, so who's gonna go in the finals and who's going? Who's basically going to the finals? And I had England going to the finals on that side of the bracket. So I was kind of like upset because if England lost, I didn't want to hear my uncles. I did not want to hear my uncles.
By the way, we're shooting this while Spain and Georgia are playing, and they just tied it 1-1. It's halftime.
Telling you, Spain is gonna go wild. My uncle, he told me also that Georgia was actually gonna give Spain a hard time and beat them. So that was a very bold prediction. I said that Spain would beat them by many goals. Mm-hmm. That's my prediction. But what do I know? What do I know? So I have England on one side, and on the other side, very controversial. I'm going with France.
You just said that they're.
I know about the upset. I know, but if there is no upset, they still haven't played a good game. They're bound to play a good game. I feel like it's gonna happen now, but I'm a little bit scared when it comes to the Belgium France.
Do you know why I think France has been struggling these past two tournaments a bit? Not the last one, they made it to the final.
Why is that?
But I think they're missing a guy who's suspended for 3 years because of doping.
Paul, man, I'm telling you,
that guy. I know people like to have his criticisms about him, whether he's at United or whatever, but in any team. But there's no one like him at France. Don't get me wrong. Tuchel, Camavinga, all these guys, class, right? Like I can't knock any of them. No. But having that paired up with N'Golo Kante, that's the. We talk about difference makers, right? That's a difference maker.
Good point. Nice. I like that. I definitely like that a lot. I played against him. I trained with him. The dude's special. And when he's on the field, bro, you feel his presence.
Yeah.
So definitely they do miss him. But I think we're done with Euro talk, bro. I can't. My head's exploding.
Your head's gonna explode.
Let's give.
I don't want. Do we talk about? Because my head is gonna explode about USA because literally Berhalter is the equivalent of Southgate. I can't stand him. I can't.
All right. This is it. Pepito's hot take. Hot take for this week. I want
Berhalter.
I want you. No. I want to hear what your thoughts are on them going through to the next stage. Do you think it will happen, or do you think it will not?
Look, don't get me wrong, Timothy Weah is going to be a big miss, but we do...
Timothy Weah should not even play no more, bro.
No.
Get him out for the whole year, bro. You can't put your damn team in that predicament, bro.
Okay,
I'm not even a U.S. fan, bro. Love it. Yes, I live here.
Bro,
I'm going for LA. But bro, you cannot, like, I got pissed off. I was shouting like, what the hell are you doing?
Wait, so then...
Why?
Wait, but then...
Why, bro?
But then wrong. That equivalent, though, is the equivalent of Wayne Rooney getting a red card in the Euros a while. Or was it the World Cup a long time ago? Like, you can't get mad at a young player for making a mistake when the emotions are high. Because, yes, he made that mistake, but when he's on the field, when we talk about players fighting and giving 110%, he does that. That's why I can't be too...
But listen,
I can't be too upset about it.
The margin of error for U.S. is like this.
Yeah, I know.
For England, it was like this. You cannot do that, bro. I don't care who you are. Wayne Rooney, you messed up. Timothy, you messed up even more because you're supposed to be a star of the team. You're supposed to be an important player of that team, and you go do that. That means something else. I feel like I don't know. You tell me if this is wrong. An entitlement of being, yo, I'm a Juve player. Yo, I won the Coppa Italia. I'm the man. Like, I could do kind of like, well, I have that sense of it. It's like an entitlement. And that's what bothers me the most.
That's an entitlement thing.
Wait, let me just finish my rant. Wait, let me just finish my rant. Right? Because in America, players, and not all of them, because I respect the Weston McKinneys and I respect the Pulisic and the Tyler Adams, who come back to the national team and try and continue that standard of where they are, right? Rather than coming here and pretending they're hot stuff.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of the players who come back, they chest out like yo, I'm this and I'm that. And that's BS.
Yeah.
That's BS, right? You have to come back and bring something better and basically make that group better, bring in something new from where you're playing, right? And incorporate it and try and get that culture, that U.S. national team culture, to a level that can stand with the Uruguays, the Brazils, the Argentinos, or wherever it is that they're playing now, right? And I feel like the Timothy Weah situation kind of made everything kind of regress. It kind of just brought back, ways of doing things that amateurs do. Right, that you'll find at high school ball or at like college ball here in America, or even at the MLS level of like American players who play. Bro, you can't be an American soccer player when you come on the national team, right? Yes, you're American at heart, blood, beautiful, but the soccer, how you play the game and how you interpret the game, no. You come with the values and the principles that you're being taught and what you see from these big players that you're playing against in the teams that you have, and then you bring it back. And that's how you make this American culture richer, right? The way that the Pulisics are doing it, the Weston McKinneys are doing, and the Tyler Adams, like, those are the ones, right? Those are the ones who are trying to change this damn thing, right? But then you have moments like that cost you literally a tournament, because you could go through and you could create havoc in the knockout stages for a stupid, in my opinion, entitled behavior. And I cannot stand that. There is no excuses, and I know he understands it too now, but it shouldn't happen.
I'm not giving an excuse. I just don't think it's entitlement based. I think it's a young player who's getting very emotional, and the frustration came out. I think that's the problem.
Because 15 minutes in the game.
No.
15 minutes in the game.
I know. But listen. When you're coming, we made the point. He's coming from somewhere else. He has those expectations of how to play soccer, how he knows things are supposed to happen. And sometimes that frustration lashes out. He's a human being at the end of the day. We know he's a professional. We know we hold him to a higher standard. But those mistakes are going to happen, especially with a young player.
No. You know what happens? If you miss a touch on the ball, you miss a goal, you miss your positioning. Those are the mistakes that could happen. But that can never happen. Especially in a moment like this. In a moment so like this important, where you're playing against Panama.
Yeah.
Right? You're playing against Panama, but that's a 3 point. Those are 3 points. You win that game, you're through.
Yeah.
Then now you have to go and play against Uruguay.
On the back foot, which is the worst. Well, we're supposed to be against Uruguay. You don't want to be on the back foot against.
But Uruguay's through already. Maybe they play their second team, and maybe the U.S. upsets them, just like how Georgia did against Portugal in the Euros, and then they go through. So there is still a chance. Everybody's like saying, "Oh, they're out." I'm not saying they are out.
But I think this is a good moment for them to rally together. I think this moment's going to make
Probably
a lot
shut everybody up.
I think a lot of those players are going to rally together, and be like, "Hey, this happened. We can adjust. We still have a job to do," which I think is possible.
There's a chance, bro. You understand, like the chance that they have. There's a big chance.
I don't have faith in the U.S. I've lost it with all this big managerial problems. And, like, don't get me wrong, like, I understand. So, for example, the way situation is not a manager problem. That's definitely a player problem. But just, like, the way how we play, the way how things are going, it's a reliance hugely on just individual performances. I don't see a set play of how we want to do things. I don't see a tactic that we're trying to install, a playing style. I just see the manager putting out a starting 11 and just hoping that someone comes up big.
So, I respect the ideas that Greg Berhalter has, and I listen to him when he talks about the game, and he has good points, and he has a good way of interpreting the game. Now, that's being a good manager, informing yourself, and trying to find ways to better yourself as a manager. In order to, I believe, to make that next step, it's how are you applying those things that you're learning, that you're seeing? How can you apply that to the players that you have and adapt those thoughts to the players that you have? And that's the difference between a good coach and a great coach, right? I feel like there is a disconnect when it comes to the way that Greg Berhalter wants to implement things and the way that it comes out on the field, correct? A lot of the times, like you said, I feel like it's just, let's rely on this one guy. Maybe he'll figure it out. A.K.A. Pulisic. Yeah. Right? Let's see if he can figure it out. And they just go away from maybe the things that they were trying in the in training, because maybe there isn't like a belief in that way of playing. And he had his time in order to get that going, but I think that's really what it is. Maybe it's not the right. Maybe at a national team level, it's hard to do that because you see them once every 2-3 months, right? If you get Greg Berhalter and you put him in a club team, right, and give him more time to have players, play and train together, and always hearing his voice 24/7, he will learn, right, how to adapt his style of play and how he wants his team to play with trial and error in training, right, and then he'll figure things out. I think he is like a cerebral guy who knows and gets the game applied. I think that's what
his biggest problem is that he's not pragmatic enough. So, like, at the end of the day, when you're a national team coach, we understand the pressure of you don't have as much time to train with them. You don't have as much time to set your own style. So what you have to look at, number one, is your player tendencies. What do they do? Okay, I have Anthony Robinson at left back. He's very creative. He steps up. He's a big name guy who likes to win those one-on-one challenges, can create from just the back. Okay, cool. I have Tim Ream, who's been in the team for a while, a senior in the team, can help lead, but he's not going to be like someone you can play a high line with and have him work back to recover, right? So I think he has to look at the player tendencies and be like, you know what? I like this, but I have to do this to get the win. I feel like he's too much in the way of, I put these players out, they're going to play a certain way, one of them's going to come big, and we're going to figure it out from there.
Yes, that's also a big sign of, like, a coach's IQ, right? And how he reads the game. Yes, you're 100% right with that too. Another thing that I saw, and I think this is the longest Pepitos hot take in the history of Pepitos take, but I think it's worth mentioning, is the fact that when something goes wrong a little bit, like the Weah situation, right? How can they adapt to it? How can they find the composure? How can they understand moments of the game? And that's when I need to see the Pulisics and the Weston McKennies, have that leadership and, guide the team. You're down 10 men, but then guess what? You go up 1-0, right? You go up 1-0.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's amazing. So how can these players on the field with leadership get all these players and rally, right? And rally, nice, tight box, very, good defending. Everybody's helping out everybody, counterattack, whatever it is that the coach wants to do. Now, coach, you make the right changes when you have to, when it has to be. So then the team flows and then the team gains confidence. But what I saw was just panic every single time, right? After 4 minutes, they score a goal. Panic. They score a goal after 4 minutes, right? Like you just climbed Mount Everest. Bro, in 10, you're scoring 1-0. You just climbed Mount Everest, and now what? How did that concentration level just like drop in like a split second, right? Like this is international ball, bro. Like you can't be doing that stuff, right? And that's when I want to see the maturity of these players. The maturity of these players. I don't know. Could it be also a little bit the Pulisic and the Weston McKennie that didn't show enough leadership and gathering these players and telling guys, this is how we have to, go forward when we're in this situation, right? Could that also be a fault that nobody's talking about? I think it could play a big part in why there was this collapse against Panama. Well, that's the first reason why, right? But then after that, how could the U.S. have done better in interpreting the game from the coaching standpoint, but also from the player standpoint? Because at the end of the game, man, we're the ones that go out there and play.
I think the one thing about the players that like the performances now versus World Cup 2022 are like night and day, and I think maybe this might be like.
Good way or bad way?
In a bad way, I think.
So they went down, you think?
And I think the reason why, and you can throw you already talked about, you have like professional before, trophy's a trophy. I feel like they don't take the Copa America as seriously as like...
No, bro, don't say that.
I know, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that. I don't think it's right at all. But like, I don't see the same intensity. I don't see the same like...
It's a different level. But listen, but more than that, I don't care even about the level because they play a World Cup against a great team. Besides the World Cup that they play every 4 years, what other tournament that is as prestigious?
No, I agree 100%.
There's no all you have is like
all you have is
they're playing against Antigua, against Haiti, against these teams.
I know. Trust me, man. I know.
Listen, that's why that could happen to.
That's why I'm saying like I don't think it's a valid point, but it's like it's just I'm trying to wrap my head around it. Like I really am because, like I said, it's night and day. Like it doesn't look the same. Like I feel like the midfield cohesion doesn't seem the same. I feel like the forward line isn't on the same page. Like everything seems off. And I don't know if that's a player thing. I don't know if that's a manager thing. I don't know if that's a mentality thing. But something just doesn't seem right. It's not adding up.
I don't know. I can't tell you. I think there's always a lot of pressure when it comes to the U.S. national team soccer-wise. But listen, the pundits that are on SportsCenter, ESPN, Fox, whatever it is, they don't know what the hell soccer is, bro. They're putting... With all due respect to U.S. soccer, bro, they sometimes talk as if, like, USA is going to win the World Cup in the next 2 or 3 editions. Like, it ain't going to happen. Like, it is not going to happen. Like, so then that's why there's, like, whenever there's these tournaments, there's a lot of media coverage, putting extra pressure on Pulisic. They're putting him on posters with, like, Ronaldo, Messi, and Mbappe. I'm like, nah, bro, like, understand the game, respect the game, bro. And put the right pressure on these players, which is we got to get out of this group stage in the Copa America, right? That's the pressure. That's that main pressure. And if they do, it's a success. In my opinion, it would be a success.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's see what happens with Uruguay. And
Uruguay is dangerous. They are dangerous.
They can get it, but the Pepitos take the Pepitos hot take, the longest take that was ever been done.
I don't know. Our top 10s have been pretty long.
Bro, this has been long. This one's been long. But we love talking about, our countries. Italy, USA. We talked a little about Albania because he always throws in Albania, which is...
I'll always find a way.
Which I respect. But anyway, guys, thank you for hearing us out. I got a lot of things off my chest. We know that Ardi was wrong on his take against England. Anyway, that's going to be another one. But, guys, thank you for watching. We'll see you.
Peace, guys.